Casey asks Allie if it makes her mad that Masha wants to sleep with Jesse, and Allie's like, "What?" So
my
I guess
gosh.
Steven Sr. asked Masha who her hall pass was, and she says his son.
That's weird as.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers!
Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Kelly.
I'm Lori.
Wendy.
Okay, we got everybody
Confused about the order.
The band's all back together.
Yeah.
My gosh, Lori, you have no idea. Just before, when I started it, I blanked. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I totally
She's like, "Hi,
blanked.
I'm Wendy." I said, "Hi, I'm Kelly."
I'm like,
And
what am I
she just sat there.
doing?
What am I doing? It's great. Isn't menopause great? It's great.
So funny.
Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
we're finally getting to McBee Dynasty. We're going to do just a quick highlight of the first 3 episodes, and then we'll get into the 4th episode. But before we do that, we'll do our call to action. If you haven't already, please go to our YouTube and subscribe, and our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, follow on all the platforms. And please give us a 5-star review if you wish to do so. And thank you if you've already done any of those things. We appreciate it.
Yes. And don't tell us to cut our hair because it's not happening.
It's not happening.
No, there's
I'm
so many
not gonna
people.
go
Someone wants us
gray.
to
I
cut
just
our
haven't
hair?
gotten my roots done
There's
yet.
so many comments about us being old and we need to cut our hair. So I'm just putting it out there. It's not
Cutting-
happening. I am going to be
We're not
that
cutting our
woman.
hair, and it's not fake. We don't have extensions. It's real.
No. And
No,
I'm never
it's
going to be
real.
that woman with short hair. I'm going to be that old lady in a big bun with her long gray ass hair. And that's just how it's going to go. So,
Right. We're just not ready to go gray yet.
yeah. So just letting you know.
And Wendy doesn't even have to worry about that because she still doesn't color her hair, which is ridiculous.
No, ridiculous.
I do not.
All right, let's not talk about it because I'll
That's
get pissed
crazy shit.
off.
Exactly. Because I have roots coming in. I gotta make Lisa stay one night to do my roots. Okay. So episode 1 starts out, Steve Sr. is getting ready to be sentenced. We do like a countdown of 24 hours. They kind of recap season 2. They're all very nervous. They're hoping for probation or house arrest. I feel like that was a
big hope.
That was a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
So what is it exactly that he did? Because in the show, they tried to make it sound like, he just didn't claim something. They kind
I
of
think he lied. He
brushed
lied
over
about
it.
something. He lied
So
about
there's-
the weight of something or
So there's a federal insurance. It's crop insurance. So if you don't produce a certain amount of crop, then they will pay you.
Okay.
So I guess the weight of the crop was misreported. And that got them federal crop insurance money that they should not have received.
I got you.
So we see Cole and Casey are with Blair. She's so cute. Those
So
babies
cute.
are so
So
adorable.
cute.
Oh my God, I love those little girls.
They're adorable.
So cute.
And they're going to be so close growing up. That's going to be so adorable. They built a beautiful home on the farm property, which we later find out belonged to McBee Farms. and not Cole
Corporation, yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corporation.
Beautiful home, though. Beautiful
Beautiful.
home. Beautiful.
Jesse and Allie are at their city house with baby Summer. And you could tell, Allie starts to say she's had some postpartum issues. And, they're both basically saying their marriage isn't quite where they'd like it to be. And, their love life isn't what it was. But this is all normal stuff. So kids at home, pay attention because this is all normal stuff when you first get married and have a baby. I
Yes.
really think they're going to be fine, but we'll see.
I feel like it's especially difficult too when you get married and then have a baby right away.
For sure.
You don't establish that married connection because it's different than engaged connection or dating connection. You know what I'm saying? So when you go from one to the other, I feel like
Yes.
it can get muddy.
Yes,
Well,
I
also,
agree.
I mean, They did date a long time, but the fact that they have a city place and a farm place, and she's a physician's assistant, so she's in the city, and they weren't living together. They were going back and forth, so it was already not the best situation.
Right,
And
right.
that's tough. Like, that's
Yeah,
tough.
That is. But understandable, because if her job's in the city and his job's on the
Right.
farm, like,
Right.
I think it's like an hour away, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve Jr. meets with Galyna. Galena's worried that the judge is going to make an example of Steve Sr. And she says that he's chaotic in relationships, but in business, he's a rock, which I
Mhm.
thought was interesting that she
Now, I
said
wanna
that.
ask you, how did she become part owner? Did she become a part owner after
She was
she
their
started
cleaning
messing
lady.
around with them? Wow, she
She was their
climbed the
cleaning lady, right?
ladder.
And then they hired her. I don't know what happened first. They hired her as like a consultant for like financials. She came on as like a financial employee in some aspect. She was also their cleaning lady though. And
Well, that's how she met
she,
Steven. And
yeah,
then they
she
started
started sleeping
dating.
with him, obviously. And then she did help their business. She did help them become more successful. So the more successful they got, the more responsibility they gave her. And then eventually he gave her a piece of the pie, which, I mean, listen, if she turned the business around, he did the right
Sure. Well,
thing.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
So
was just wondering that.
nobody's going to work harder than somebody who's got a financial stake in a company.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Then we learned when Steve Jr. says that a felony charge can make banks pull loans and it could affect every aspect of the business. I would never have even thought of that, but makes total sense.
Yes, it
They have to
absolutely
start
does.
selling off pieces of the land.
Right, wasn't it like 7 million within 24 months or something crazy?
I think it was an even shorter time than that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
That they sold off? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a time restriction. They had to do that. That's what they had done. That's what they accomplished.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. I mean, because they weren't sure. Like, they weren't sure if they were gonna pull the loan, so they had to get everything in place in case they
In
did.
case they did, yeah.
Right. So they're having a family dinner. Kristi says that Steve Sr.'s nervous and everything's starting to hit him. And then Allie kind of drops on Casey that her and Cole's house is on a property in Steve Sr.'s name. And that could be taken from them. So
Sure.
he owns the property, but they paid for the house to be built. I mean, I would imagine that house being built, I'm sure it was at least 500 grand. That's a beautiful
Right, at
house. I
least.
It
know
was
It's
they're in a
more than
huge.
different
that.
area than we are,
Yeah,
but
no, it was definitely more
Yeah.
than that. It was definitely
yeah.
more than that.
So Casey goes and confronts Cole, and he basically says he just didn't want her to worry, and he apologizes.
Now, I wanna ask you a question. So they said, when they were talking about, like, their equity and everything, I think it was Galyna who said that, like, they leveraged all their equity to do the car washes, like,
Yes.
that's not a smart business move. You should never leave yourself, like, high and dry like that, like, that's not smart.
Well, I think what was happening was I think that this was happening, and I could be wrong, but from what I understand, they've kind of transitioned from the crops. Like, they're not farming
Right, into
crop
other
anymore. They're
things, right,
they're doing more of the cattle. So
right,
they were getting rid of land and getting rid of the crop, and the crop is what got them in trouble.
right.
So they wanted
Right.
something else to kind of be diversified besides just the cattle, and now it's not just the cattle, they also have the beef and the meat, and then they have other things
Right, their
besides that.
fulfillment center and blah, blah, blah. It just
Right.
seemed to me like that you really shouldn't have stretched yourself that thin, like, that's dangerous. I know you have to take risks in business, but I was just like, "Wow, that's a lot of debt to open up some car washes."
This thing with Steve Sr. has been going on for a long time. Like, it was going on during season 1. We just didn't know about it. So I think this
Right.
guy was just
It
trying
had been
to
going on for a while, yes.
and I think he was just trying to get involved in other businesses
Right.
because that was gonna be a problem.
Right. No, I
So if
think
he
it's
could
good. To
to take his
diversify.
equity and put it into something else to start making money right away, just in case they froze anything. He's got
Right,
this other thing that can still make him money in the meantime.
right.
That's
I getcha.
probably, but I agree with
Yeah,
you, it's very risky.
yeah.
So the next morning, it's 2 hours until sentencing, and they're all getting ready. The headlines say US versus McBee. And, they're all kind of jacked up about that. And then, so they go into the courthouse, but obviously the cameras don't. They come out, they start recapping. They were all asked by Steve Sr.'s lawyer to write letters of encouragement, which is basically character reference letters. And then they start reading them. It was sad, it was kind of emotional. They were all getting emotional reading their letters. Galyna goes over to be with the rest of the family while awaiting the trial. Steve Sr.'s brother and mom are there. So then we find out that he got 24 months in federal prison, 3 million in fines, 4 million in restitution. It's really not bad. He was facing up to 30 years. I mean,
Exactly.
24 months is
Yes.
not bad.
No, not bad, yeah.
And actually, Cole said even though he's facing up to 24 months, they expect him to be released by the end of this year, before Christmas.
Provided, yeah.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, that would be awesome for him and his family.
Yeah. Yeah, so Steve Jr. is very concerned about the $7 million, understandably. Kristi's trying to be the rock for everybody. They go back to the house, and Kristi and Galyna are actually okay with each other, which, man, Kristi is amazing. She really is.
I mean, the fact that she wasn't even on season 1. I don't know how she wasn't on season. I mean, she didn't really want to do
Maybe
it.
they weren't in such a good place then. Not she and
No.
Galyna, she and Steve Sr.
No, it wasn't that. She just didn't want to do this. She had her own thing. And then when everything was going on with Steven Sr. and he didn't or couldn't appear on the show because he didn't really appear on season 2. You almost never saw him. And even season
We've
3.
barely seen him now. Right.
Well,
Exactly.
you only have
I
one
was
side.
surprised to see him in the last episode.
I was too. And it was barely, we barely saw him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
side view,
So-
quick
No.
side view.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she stepped up for her boys because she's doing anything for those boys.
Yeah. And I think that that's why she can be so okay with Galyna, because just first of all, she's not even with Steve Sr. anymore, and he played her like he played Kristi. So you got to have a little
Right.
empathy for that,
Mhm.
even though he was married to Kristi at the time. But the way she treats her boys and their significant others, and she works for the company, like she's a part owner, she's got stake in this, like she's really a part of the family, like it or not.
Right,
So
like
I
it or
just think
not.
Kristi's a pretty amazing woman.
I do too.
So Steve Sr. has 6 weeks before he actually goes away. Then they're having a meeting in the war room. This cracked me up when Steven Jr. was like, "Where's Galyna?" And then he's like, "She acts like she's a celebrity." She is. And she's a bigger one than you.
And you,
And
right.
it's eating you alive. She's getting invited to all the Bravo things.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not. He went
And
to
he's not.
BravoCon.
Right.
I think that
I
she's going to
thought
be
that
at
was so funny.
they're doing another virtual reality in New York. It's not even at City Winery. It's at a much bigger place now. And I think
Really?
Galyna is on I think Galena's on the ticket.
Are we going to go? When is it?
No, we're not on the ticket.
All right.
Okay, well, then there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Galyna and her daughter are getting their nails done, I guess, while this meeting's going on. But it could have just been production. But she is ignoring Steve Jr.'s calls.
Yeah.
And then basically Steve Jr. and Cole say that they have to sell the family headquarters, the big building,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget what
and,
they called it.
Tessa was like, "Oh, it was your father's dream." But they're doing what they got to do. It's the only path forward.
Listen,
Meanwhile,
it's just
Cole-
a building.
It's
Right,
just a
it's about
building.
Right?
Meanwhile, Cole can't get a word in because Steven Jr. just likes to hear himself
Flapping
talk.
his gums. Mm-hmm.
I actually work for somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Meetings last a lot longer than maybe they should,
They
but
need
that's okay.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
He's great. I love him. Galyna's daughter asks her if she's going to be okay, and Galyna says, "We're going to be okay." and I'm rebuilding myself. Then Steven Jr. announces that he has to go pick someone up.
Oh my God.
And
I was like, what?
we
What?
Allie,
You're gonna go
the
get a
new
chick?
the new paid girlfriend.
The paid girlfriend.
We've learned
Absolutely.
this week
Yes.
how much
yes.
she gets paid and how much
Mhm.
she
She's
wanted to
saying
get
that
paid.
she is saying that that is not true, and I'm just like,
Well,
listen, I don't think
she
it's I don't
came
think sh
out she came out and said like, "Oh, what? And you all don't get paid?" Like listen, I think that the McBee entity is trying to do damage control because Steven Jr. has screwed this up so much with those
Mhm.
text messages.
My biggest problem with her is if all the claims are what they are presented to be, is that as much as Steve Jr. love bombed Allie, I think what's worse is the way Allie love bombed Kristi. Because supposedly
Good point.
she into Kristi that this is how that her feelings were sincere and sent all these text message about how wonderful the boys are and how well she raised them and blah blah blah, can't wait
She
to be
did
part
come
of the
on strong
family.
with all that.
Like all of that to me is like,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
you're right. Everybody should get paid, but you, I don't give a shit how many followers you have, should not get paid as much as the people whose names are on the show and have been doing it for 2 seasons already, and you're gonna waltz in and no, you should have told your manager, "S s s back off of your commission," because that's what the extra money was.
Yeah. I just don't think anything was sincere. Now, well, first of all, I think all of their scenes together are cringy and produced. Steven
my God,
Jr.
they're
and Allie.
so cringy to watch, and
It's
But supposedly
horrible.
supposedly, though, and again, supposedly, is him and Kristi were, like, rooting for Allie with production about getting her the pay that she wants. So
Well, yeah, I mean,
I can
those text
believe that.
messages indicate that Steven Jr. is like, "I'll take a hit to my salary
right.
if it'll help."
No, I totally get that. And, this is what Steven did last season with Kala. She drops the bomb that, he's leaving her all this cash. And the other girls are like, what? Like, where's he taking this money from? They're all working their asses off. And everything I can see is, to be quite honest with you, Cole does not get enough credit. Like,
Absolutely not.
Cole does so much for that farm. He knows so much about what is going on. And
Mhm.
Steven undercuts him and undermines him every chance he gets.
Yep.
And
Yes.
it annoys
Yep.
me. It really annoys me.
He's a very, very, very insecure man. Very.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That I
So they
actually
do a
feel
side
bad
by
for him.
side.
I actually feel bad for him. He's that
Well, I
ins
feel bad for people who are so insecure that they act that way. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's totally insecurity though.
Mhm.
They do a side by side with Allie and Kala, and they literally could be twins.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'll be honest with you. When I put this picture back here, I had to double check it. I was like, I'm looking to see. I'm like, is that Kala or is that Allie?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I personally think that Kala is prettier.
I
Allie
don't.
has
They're
way
both
too
fake.
much.
They're
Well,
both so
I don't know.
fake.
Right,
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
They're
So
both fake.
Jake and Braden are going shopping to get Steven Jr.'s house ready for
Oh my God,
his
this was
company.
great.
They're
This was
grabbing
great.
maxi pads.
They said I was dying. They said, "Well, if a regular tampon is not enough, can't you double it up?" I was like, "Oh my God. My God.
That was awesome. Awesome.
God."
So
funny.
Cole's telling Tessa that Steven Jr. has control issues and he's trying to step up. He doesn't think this weekend was the best time to fly up a girl, and Tessa obviously agrees.
Well, I think anyone in the world would agree with that. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Apparently, Allie's family's very conservative, so the decorations that Braden and Jake put up might not go over well.
I love the boo thing with the boobs. That was great.
My God, it was so
Great.
good. So good. Dude, Steven Jr. goes in for a kiss and she like naturally pulls her body away. Not a good sign. It was so weird.
It was weird.
And Tessa tells Cole that Steven Jr. needs to start respecting him. So that's episode 1. Episode 2, we start out, it's 3 days since sentencing. Stephen Jr. brings Allie to the fulfillment center, and she says that their physical attraction was the best 2 pumps and 20 seconds of her life.
Oh my God, I can't believe she said that. I
I
can't believe
mean, and
I
it's
couldn't
kind of
either.
confirmed in the last episode.
but that's
Yes.
horrible for him, though. I mean,
My
I'm
God,
not
that's
saying
the
No wonder
worst
he's
thing you could
insecure.
say about a
I'm not
guy,
saying
that
he's a
either his dick is small or he's bad in bed. That's the
yeah,
worst thing you could
the
ever say about
worst.
a guy.
Right. Yeah, I felt
And you
I
just did
feel
that
bad
on
for him.
national television.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow. Whoa." Well,
And
between that and
am I
then
did they meet for the first time in person when he picked her up at the airport?
I think
I think
so.
so.
Right?
I think
Like,
so.
how
I think
crazy
so.
is that?
It's madness. You know what that is? That's he was hitting her up because she was hot. She was ignoring him. Then she looked and said, "Oh, he has a show." She stopped
Mhm.
ignoring him.
Mhm.
They even they had money hashed out before she even got in that plane.
That's what's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's what's crazy.
But it was funny because there was poor Stephen Jr. There were 3 times when his piece of deal was spoken about. When the farmhands were going to the house to decorate it, they said, "Oh, look." He looked in his drawer and saw something for, like, something to make you last longer.
Yep. Yep.
Then the thing that Allie said, and then when all the girls were later on at the beauty salon, I was like,
I mean, this guy
"Poor thing."
Yeah.
couldn't happen to a nicer guy, though, in my opinion.
Oh, there you go.
So Jake goes to Stephen Sr.'s house, and he's not there, but Masha is. And Jake's like, she is always there. She is a stage 5 clinger. So I thought Masha said that Stephen Sr.'s mom was moving in. Is that what
Yes,
she
she
said?
did. Yeah.
Yes, they're getting the house
So
ready for his mom.
I would imagine that means Masha has to leave.
No,
She's not
I
gonna
think I
live
don't
there
think
with his mom.
her ass ain't moving nowhere.
No, does she live there all the time? Like, I'm confused about the whole
I
thing.
don't
I don't
know.
think she's supposed to, but she's there all the time.
Because when
So
Kristi
maybe
went
she
over to
doesn't live
pick
there.
something up, when she went over to pick something up, and she was surprised to see Masha there.
So
I
maybe
don't
she
think
doesn't live there.
I don't think she lives there. I think that she's
I
just
don't think she
there all the time.
Exactly. I don't think she's
And she
supposed to live there, but she's there all the time as if she does live there because they have family dinners there and she's not
Right.
invited.
But she
Okay.
has access to the cameras, we know. So she
Yes.
knows when they're there.
Right.
Right. Stephen and Allie are hosting the family, and Kristi meets her and she likes her. She says she's bubbly and fun. Casey says Allie looks a lot like Calla. Cole says Stephen Jr. has a Pacific type.
Oh my God,
Great.
he's so
And the
funny.
producer's like, specific. He's like, yeah, Pacific.
I know. He's like, is that not right? This is what I love
No.
about Cole, too.
I
Yeah.
cannot. Galyna is joining them too, which I thought was nice. Casey says Allie's fun to be around. Jake and his girlfriend, I keep forgetting her name, but I love
Yeah,
it.
forget her name. Yeah.
Well, I don't
I
know
don't
her
remember her
name.
name. I don't
But she's
remember.
got a cool name and I love it. I just keep forgetting about it. Cole has set up a meeting with wealthy people who can purchase the headquarters, and Stephen Jr. wants Cole to hand off a bit of this deal to him, and Cole says he'll handle it. And I think good for you, Cole.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's definitely got, Stephen Jr.'s definitely got some serious control issues.
Control issues for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Stephen Jr. says this isn't the ideal time to take over the grain facility. Cole says he doesn't think Stephen Jr. is giving him the credit he deserves. And then we see Casey and Allie are at Kristi's house with the babies. And Kristi says Masha texted her and she wants to meet up with her. And Kristi says she doesn't like what Masha did to Galyna. I mean,
Yep.
this woman,
Yep.
she's so kind.
Yep. And both Allie and Casey say the same thing. Like, they call Masha out. They know who she is.
Yeah, that was a great scene. So Stephen and Allie have to keep telling us how much chemistry they have, even though we don't see it. They have to keep telling us because it's not visible to the human eye that they
Yes.
have chemistry.
Yes.
This was kind of funny. Stephen Jr. says it's hard for him to take Cole seriously after just last year he was getting wasted and acting a fool and basically trying to fight a mountain,
I mean, he
which
was.
he
but
was.
that was a one-time thing. Stephen, you've done
Well,
many
I think
stupid
that
things.
Cole was probably a handful growing up. I think, he was
Yeah.
like a star on the football team. He was like, he was the man in high school, I
Yeah.
would imagine.
Yeah.
So anyway, John, the potential buyer, shows up at headquarters to meet Cole. And Stephen Jr.'s like hemming and hawing that he might go. And Allie's like, don't go, which was good. She said, just chill. Casey's at the warehouse and Kristi shows up to drop off Blair. And then Casey asks Kristi to drop off steaks at Stephen Sr.'s house. And when she gets there, Masha's there. And Kristi's basically like, well, I didn't know you were going to be here. But that's kind of hard to believe
Right.
because there's cameras all set up.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah. It is a
Masha
show.
wants to talk. Yeah, Masha wants to talk to Kristi about their issues. Kristi says, you don't care about my boys at all. She says, do you have any idea what you were doing when you showed up at that car wash? And
Of course she knew.
Masha says, Steve invited me. And Kristi says, well, Steve said he didn't invite you. And Masha says she has a fine relationship with the family. And Kristi, she had a fine relationship with the family until Kristi started showing up at Stephen Sr.'s house. Okay, well, Kristi was
Okay.
always showing up at Stephen Sr.'s house, so that's a bunch of BS. Casey and Allie are talking to Stephen Jr., and he's basically telling them that he's getting ready to propose. And they're like, all right, it's too soon to talk about that.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I mean, and then he says some whack shit that, he just thinks that, Cole and Casey would be mad if he gets engaged before them because they've been together for so long. No, you just met this woman 3 days ago.
Right. So what are you even talking?
And you're a lunatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That right there. Exactly.
there.
Right there.
It's that. Yeah. Cole tells Galyna, Jesse, and Jake that the office is closing and the sale's going through. The facility, the
Yes.
fulfillment center. And Jesse says it's defeating that they have to sell that. And Galyna says the car washes are their biggest investment now. So, when what they did with that was a good move, thank God.
So I looked it up. They have 7 active car wash locations. And it's McBee Coffee and Car Wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee.
So-
Car wash.
Listen,
I mean, listen,
think that
car washes
must have-
are
They're good for washing.
they're
More than
good for
cars.
washing.
More than
More
cars.
than cars. Exactly. They sure are.
They sure are.
Exactly. With that said, I mean, listen, they can't really mess around after what just happened with their
No,
father.
no.
The feds are going to be eyeing them up and down.
Yes.
But that was the first thing I thought of. Car washes are a
They're good
real
for
good place
washing.
to wash your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have 30 days to get their stuff out. And Casey's helping Galyna decorate for the Halloween party. Casey tells Galyna that they were having a family dinner and Masha showed up and yelled at Kristi for being there. And they think she has cameras at the lodge. Well,
she has access to them.
Yeah. Access to that. Yeah.
yeah. Galyna leaves, grabs a shovel, and basically smashes the cameras at the lodge.
She does some crazy Russian shit is what she does.
Like, I need a Galyna to be my friend, I think.
My God.
I feel like
Things
I
would
could
be
turn
a lot
into
different for
Galyna.
a lot of people if
At
Galyna
any
was my
moment.
friend.
Yeah, I feel like I could turn into Galyna at any moment.
Probably could. You probably could. So now we're at the annual McBee Halloween party and Masha shows up. I mean, what is this girl doing? Why would you go somewhere where absolutely nobody wants you at?
So you could piss everybody off. And if she didn't, there
Yeah.
wouldn't be a show.
But she
Cole tells
clombed
Galyna
right
that
onto
Masha said
Allie,
Steve-
You're right.
Huh?
the new Allie. She's like,
yeah.
oh.
Glommed right on her. Yeah.
Yeah. Cole tells Galyna that Masha said Stephen Sr. either better get her a ring before he goes to jail or they're done. Allie says Galyna checks in with her every week and she never hears from Masha. So then Masha's talking to the girls and Galyna is really staring her down.
Giving her
Really
the eye.
staring her down. Stephen Jr. tells Cole that he's pretty sure he's going to marry Allie. So Cole tells him to give him a week to basically put a ring on Casey's finger. And Tessa tells Masha she's very nervous that she's there with Galyna. I love Tessa.
I do
Yeah,
too.
she was cute.
Yeah.
I do too.
And Galyna walks up to Masha and says, I'm still so confused. Why are you here? This is my party.
And you're not invited.
And you're not
You're
invited.
not invited. And that's how episode 2 ends. So episode 3 opens up. We're still at the party. Cole says Galyna's doing the shaky eye witch thing.
Yeah.
Eye twitch, the shaking eye twitch.
Yeah.
Galyna tells Masha, I don't care about the man. Just don't come to my party. Basically, she doesn't care about Steven Sr. anymore. And I do believe that. I really do believe that.
Yeah,
I think she had to get past that to be able to, like, I think she's still crazy about Masha because Masha was her friend. And that's such a betrayal. But I don't think it has anything to do with Steven Sr. anymore.
No.
I agree.
It is interesting to me, though, that Galyna is so affected by Masha. But Kristi can be totally fine around Galyna.
Well,
you know what I
Kristi's
mean?
a bigger person, and
She
she's not
is.
Russian.
Right.
She doesn't have that running
Not
through
crazy
her.
Russian.
Yeah. Casey tells Galyna that they all have her back, which I thought was nice. And then, thankfully, Masha leaves.
And
Jesse, Allie, Cole, and
she
Casey.
behaved herself. Galyna behaved herself. She reined it in.
She really did. She really
reined
did.
it in.
How about when Allie, the new Allie, told Jesse and Allie, the other Allie, to kiss, and they were like, "Oh no."
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that's not good."
I mean, we're not super like PDA.
PDA.
Eric and I,
No.
We
But
would
you
do
can,
that for a picture at a party
right.
for sure.
Yeah. That was like,
Yeah.
does not
So
bode
then
well.
Jesse, Allie, Cole, and Casey are going to a fall festival. And Casey, and then Kristi, Steven Jr., and Allie, they're all there. But apparently Cole went hunting on Blair's first Halloween, and that's not sitting well with Casey. Steven Jr. is talking about how Allie is checking all these boxes. Like, he's some fucking prize to win, this guy. Like, he acts like this is like a dating game. Like, people are vying for him. She wasn't even interested when you DM'd her on Instagram the first time.
That's what I'm saying.
She wanted to hook you up with her sister, bro.
Right. She wanted to get rid of your ass, what you wanted
You
to do.
better worry about checking her boxes, not vice versa. Ay. Then Steven Jr. says that the cattle sale's coming up and this is going to be huge for their business. And we see how serious he takes it.
Oh, yeah, very serious.
My gosh, that was so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
That was a real jerk-off move.
It
Very
really was.
jerk-off-ish.
And then how about how he baited her to hard launch it?
Absolutely.
I mean, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I had never even heard of this before.
Hard launching?
Yeah, I live under a rock. I live under a rock in the 80s still. Like,
it's just what they call, like, when people
I know, but I was
official.
I know, but I was thinking like hard launching a business online. I was like,
right.
Like, what do you, what?
People are crazy. So, Cole and Casey have their little thing at the fall festival, but, whatever. They get through it. The
like
boys
them
are
as
going
a
to
couple.
I do too.
Yes,
I
I
do
like
too.
them.
I'm rooting for both of them, Jesse and Allie and Cole and Casey.
Me too.
I think Steven Jr. is going to be a single, creepy old guy, but whatever. So will his father, so they could be together.
They're going to be together.
The boys go to the cattle auction. Steven Jr. is supposed to meet them the next day. Jesse says he hopes people at the cattle auction will not hold their name against them. Is it Tegan? Is that her name? Tegan and Casey are at Allie's house and Masha calls her. She wants them to come look at the things at the house to get it out of there. This was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Do you think that they got a look when they walked into that cattle auction? Do you think that
production certainly made it look like they did.
I think it was production.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know that people were really like.
I don't think I don't think any of those men there probably even know about the show.
No,
or give a shit if they do know.
Right,
exactly.
The only thing they might know is it is a very small community, like ranching and farming. It's not like there's thousands of them, so they might know about McBee's legal troubles. But other than that, they don't give a shit about no show. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing they would know about. Like, hey, he got busted for the crop fraud or whatever.
Right. Well, that and maybe the cameras that were there. That might have done it.
That might have been a tip off.
Yeah,
might have been a tip off.
So Casey asks Allie if it makes her mad that Masha wants to sleep with Jesse, and Allie's like, "What?" So I guess Steven Sr. asked Masha who her hall pass was, and she says his son.
That's weird as fuck.
You know what vibes those are giving? Oh, Lori didn't watch it, and I don't think you watched. Did you watch Southern Charm from the beginning, Wendy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's giving Ashley Thomas Ravenel's girlfriend vibes when she wasn't dating Thomas Ravenel very long and things got rocky. So she basically started asking like Austin and Shep, like, well, would you date me? Like she just wanted to be on the show. She would have dated
Oh
anybody.
god. I thought it was really rude of Masha because she calls the girls to come get the stuff from the basement, and she's saying how it would be easy for her. And, when in her confessional, she's saying, "Oh, it'll be easier for me when Steve goes away and less lonely for me if I had a connection with them." Okay, so I guess it's all about you.
Yeah.
I
But
was
you're
like,
not making
"Okay."
any effort. You're yelling at their mother for being at a family dinner. Like,
Right.
that's not going to do it at
No.
all.
Like, what is she thinking by yelling at Kristi? Like, that is just crazy to me.
Crazy. Nobody's taking your side against Kristi. There's no way.
It's crazy Russian shit, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Allie and Casey go to Steven Sr.'s house, and it's basically Galyna's things in the bins. So I don't know. Did Masha want them to bring those things to Galyna?
Well,
She
first
was
she asked.
offering them to them.
Yeah,
Like
first she asked,
trophies.
do you want anything?
Yeah.
No, we're
She
good.
had to she had to know the shit was Galena's.
So
Absolutely.
then they sit down and start talking. And I'll tell you what, Casey's good. Casey's very good.
Yes.
Masha says she and Galyna weren't friends. They were introduced 12 years ago, but not close. She had no idea she was dating Steve Sr. Casey's like, you were at the house for Christmas, you exchanged presents, and then you were sleeping with her boyfriend. And Masha says she doesn't want to marry Steve, but Casey's like, but Steve told us you want a ring before he goes away. Like everything Masha said, Casey had to come back for. And she said, why would you go to her house on Christmas and exchange presents if you weren't friends? And she's like, well, we were friends. She's like, you just told me you weren't friends.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
she
did
was on
call
it.
her out. Yeah, she was on it. It was
On
good.
everything. On everything
Huh?
she said.
And then Casey
Good.
says that Cole, and Steve Sr. all told Masha not to go to the car wash because of Galyna. And Masha's like, that never happened. That's a lie. I mean, this bitch is crazy. And Casey says that Masha was lying right to Kristi's face. And Casey calls Masha delusional to her face. And Masha says that she thinks Casey's being disrespectful.
My gosh, when she said that in her confessional, she's like,
What?
and I don't know how she was raised. What?
Yeah,
Well, she's not sleeping with a married man or a
You're
man
right.
who has a girlfriend.
Right.
And Casey says no matter what, Galyna will always be in their life. And Masha goes in the bathroom and says, this is humiliating. And Casey's like, it's humiliating because you're a liar. And she's right. Then we see the boys are in Russell, Iowa, and they go to the Tipsy Turtle and they order Tipsy Turtles. You could tell the people at the bar were like kind of into it, like happy to see
Yeah.
them there. And,
Mhm.
like those women sitting at the bar, like they were into it, which is nice. And then we see Steven Jr. and Allie are in the hot tub.
That was a weird scene.
Cringy.
She kept, like, turning her head, like, it was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
And
There was a
you can
weird
stop
vibe.
trying to tell us how sexy he is because nope. Jake shows the boys some social media stuff about Allie and a divorce that she had and asks if he should let Steven Sr. know. And Jesse's like, no, he already knows. He's going fast, but he's a man and he can make his own decisions. And then Steven Jr. and Allie are talking about a lease in New York that fell through. The scenes with them are just so produced. And now that we know all about these text messages that he sent, like, and then she, with the money and I don't know. I mean, did we
How
think that
how
they were ever
about
really even dating? Do you think?
I don't
Because I
think so.
don't now.
I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
How about he's just, like,
Douche.
he's such a douche, like, when he went to that retreat and he did that list for his ideal woman, and then even worse was he did the thing of what his dream day would look like, and he's just such an
Even when
he's
he was
just such a
talking about,
suck up. Like, you could
yeah,
tell when he was at this retreat, he said, "Okay, I have this assignment, so I have to write down what my dream day is. So I'm just gonna be like an ass kiss, and I'm gonna write on there that, we're gonna pick out our reading materials, and we are going to journal twice a day, and we are going to do the deep work. Like, oh my God, dude.
Right.
No, that's not what they
Meanwhile, he's
wanted.
rage texting her because she stayed at a party late. Like, you're so zen.
It's just
You
like,
effing
dude, shut
whore.
up.
Like, okay, Stephen Jr.
Ugh.
So it's the day of the cattle auction. Stephen Jr. is nowhere to be found. And then we see him at home with Allie, and that he starts acting so douchey about this. This is when they hard launch because Allie
Right.
posted a picture of her in his gym, and everybody knows what his gym looks like. Like, he couldn't
That's
say
an
that enough
that's another telltale sign. I'm sorry,
of
but
insecurity.
there's certain guys who are too buff because they are too into it. Because it's the only thing that makes them feel better about themselves is doing that all those hours in front of the mirror, and it gets creepy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Beware of a too
So
buff man.
Stephen and Allie decide to post their relationship. It's very dramatic for no reason at all. No reason at all. We
Which
don't need all the
picture should
dramatic.
we take? Which picture do you like
Oh my God,
better?
the
What
effort
should
they
we
put into
say?
that.
I wanna ask you guys a question. Do you ever, like, sit on your kitchen counter?
No, and I don't
They were
like it when
always
people
sitting on
do.
they were always sitting on the kitchen counter several
Yeah,
times. I was
stop
like, "What are
sitting
you
on my counter. That is where
why are
my
you s"
food goes.
Yeah, like, "Why are you sitting on the
Don't put your dirty ass keys on my counter and don't sit on it. I don't
don't
want to
sit
see
on it."
wallets on my counter. Those are like germ havens.
Yeah, I was like, "Ew, stop sitting on the counter." I don't know, I just had a
Yes,
problem.
I totally agree.
Never sat
Uh,
on a counter.
No, right? You don't sit on the fucking
Weird.
weirdos.
well, I have something funny to add to that, but I don't want to. It possibly is TMI.
Okay. You're like,
It was my
"Oh
old
god."
kitchen, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I think Joe might have been conceived on my kitchen.
Yeah.
See,
I was on the counter, not both of us. It was my old kitchen, though. Don't worry. None of that activity has happened in the new kitchen.
Still
It's
still
gone. It's gone. I know.
let me get
TMI.
out the eraser.
So now the boys are at the auction and they see the post and are like, okay, so this is what he's choosing to do while
Mhm.
we're trying to save our company.
Right.
McBee cows are up and they're looking to get at least 2,000, I think, per
2,200, I thought.
2,200
Ahead, yeah.
per cow, and they all
Yeah.
came in low. The first was like around 17, the second was around 1960, which was probably the best one. 1,800, 1,700, 1,500, 1,900. They aren't hitting. They were looking to make 500,000 and they made 446. So they came close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. So that's the end of the third episode. Fourth episode opens up with Cole and Jesse going to the jewelry store. And Cole says he's done some growing up, stopped drinking so much, and he got her a 3.16 carat ring for 35K. Not too shabby. Jesse says
Very
it's
appreciate.
giant. Cole asks Jesse if things change when you get married, and Jesse thinks things won't change too much because they're already living together. They talk all the time. You know, their their dynamic isn't going to change that much. And then Jesse says that his 1 year anniversary is coming up, and it's been a tough year with everything going on, obviously with his father, and sometimes
Yeah.
they feel disconnected, and they're just not as close as they used to be.
So, I
And
mean,
then,
Jesse doesn't talk. I think that's the whole thing. I mean,
yeah,
do you
I agree.
remember last year, like he was like having like almost like anxiety about getting married with Allie, and when they finally sat down like to talk about it, like Jesse just holds everything inside.
Mhm.
And I think that, you know, I think that's something he's going to really need to work on because, like, you need to communicate. Like, you just need to talk about it. And we don't, like, he says very little on every episode. We don't hear
I
much
know.
unless someone's asking him a question. Like, he's not talking, you
Right.
know?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I worry about that couple, to be honest with you. I do like them
Yes.
as a couple. I do. I really do. And I really like Allie a lot, but I don't
Especially,
know.
later on we'll get to it, but especially when we get to their, like, anniversary dinner, I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to that because that's something.
Yeah.
Allie and Casey go see Galyna with Summer, and Allie says Galena's always been there for them if they need her. They tell her about the Masha thing, asking the girls to go through her Galyna stuff to see if they want anything. And, you could tell this isn't going to be good. And Galyna
Right.
says it's an invasion of privacy, and she's not wrong. And Allie says nobody's close with Masha, and she and Casey are Team Galyna, and they do feel like Galyna needs to have a conversation with Masha just for her own healing. And then Galyna mentions that she ran into Brooke and told her she would like to
Crazy.
talk.
That
Now,
was crazy.
I never watched season 1, but from what I understand, Galyna in season 1 was Steven Sr.'s girlfriend, correct? Or were they
Yes.
broken up already?
No, they were together.
Okay.
I mean, we think they were
but he was
together. They were
also
living
dating
together,
this woman, Brooke.
but she didn't know.
He's just a fucking liar, Steven Sr.
Well, that's
He's just
it.
a
Like, he's
runaround.
just a dog.
He's
That's
just
it.
a dog. He's just a runaround
Right.
dog.
Right.
So Casey's helping Allie put something together at their house. And Allie says Jesse hasn't really been helping her enough with Summer. Allie in her confessional says that since they had Summer, they haven't been focusing on their marriage. Casey says Jesse and Allie are very reserved, but Allie started opening up to her, and Jesse hasn't given Allie the support she needs. I mean,
I'm glad that she's
again,
opening up to Casey. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like kids at home, this is normal. This is what happens. This is real shit. So Cole's getting ready for the engagement party, and he FaceTimes Kristi, and Kristi says she loves Casey, and then Allie is kind of setting Casey up because she's supposed to be taking her for a spa day and a nice dinner with Tegan, but the boys are setting up the gazebo for the engagement. I loved this. I
But
absolutely
it was
loved
great
this.
when Cole in his confessional called the gazebo a Zamboni.
I was dying. I was dying. He's
I
like,
was like,
a
oh
Zamboni?
my God. That's so
He- talking.
I
funny.
mean, the Cole-isms that we're getting this season are
Right.
just fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I love that too.
Allie says there's no, because Casey says, are you pregnant? And Allie says there's no way she's pregnant because they're not having sex, basically. So there's a lot of factors playing into that. She doesn't feel comfortable in her own skin, which is what we're seeing on the Valley.
Yeah.
And this is real shit. This
Again,
is real shit. And
Totally
Summer's
normal.
Summer's, I don't know, is she even 6 months at this point? I mean, you're cleared to have sex, but it doesn't mean that you're comfortable having
Right.
sex. It
Right,
doesn't mean
right,
that
right.
you
It's a
want
whole-
to. It does,
it's a whole thing. You have this other being that is like your whole focus, all your attention, and
you're not sleeping, right?
You're not sleeping, and you just feel like. And listen, having a baby is great, but around 6-9 months, you're like, whoa, because it's a very intense thing how much they need you. And sometimes being intimate with somebody can not feel like a connection. It can feel like a service. And then you're like, oh, no, I'm not servicing you too. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it can get weird.
is that for a guy, and I'm not trying to generalize, but for a guy, it's just so easy. They're like, what? We'll be quick. Let's just go in the bathroom. But for a woman, it's just so different.
Right, because it's your mind too. It's like
your mind.
you
You have
can't-
to be You have
Yeah.
to emotionally be in that place, not
Right.
just
And
physically.
And especially
Right.
if you don't feel like he's there helping you and supporting you, that's the last thing you're going to want to do.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a huge factor. It's a
Yeah.
huge factor.
There's a lot that
Absolutely.
goes into it.
Yeah. So they're going to the Elms, and the girls show up to get pedicures, and then the boys show up. And then we learn that Stephen Jr. used a ball trimmer on his face.
Oh my God, that was so gross. I was like, what?
He's like, it's my body. I'm like, what the hell
Yeah, but
is
it's still
wrong
your
with you?
balls.
Yeah.
Come on.
So Allie and Casey, they're not talking to each other. I think this is in their confessionals, but Allie says that she sees on TikTok that Stephen Jr. and Allie are kissing all the time, and it's hard to not compare your relationships. But in hindsight, I think you're all right,
Yeah.
Allie, because
Yeah,
look what
you're
we're
Yeah, I
right.
think you're, yeah.
And then Casey says she doesn't care that they're moving too fast. She just doesn't want Stephen Jr. to get hurt. And then Tegan says, oh my God, she heard that Stephen Jr. is not very good in bed. And Casey says that she and Allie have heard that he wasn't very good too. And that it doesn't last very long.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Crazy. So
And
crazy.
you know why that is? Because everything with him is based on performance.
Yes.
Everything about him is based on performance. So that's how he sees himself. He sees himself through the lens of not how he feels. He sees himself as how he performs in
Right.
all aspects of his life. So he puts so much pressure on himself that he fucks himself up.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So now Galyna goes to see Brooke. And Brooke says to her, I want you to understand that my life was very affected by what happened. I was just dating someone, but she understands that Galyna was blindsided. It's so interesting to me that all these women are fighting over Stephen Sr. because I find him so unattractive. But he must have game. He must have game.
He must.
Yeah. Galyna says the last few years have been traumatizing and she's made mistakes and it was unfair to Brooke. She's working on her temper and I'm just sitting here waiting for her to apologize. I'm just waiting. She says she feels like an asshole and it was not fair to Brooke, especially how it affected her kids. And Brooke says she has forgiven her and let it go. I don't remember Galyna saying I'm sorry, but Brooke does say she forgives her. And when Galyna learns how to control her own emotions, she'll feel even more powerful. I think what Brooke said was very good.
I did
Very good.
too. I
Yeah.
did too. I actually thought Galyna did apologize because she
No,
did
I
seem
think
to
she
Just in
be.
her
did.
own way. I just don't
Yeah,
think
I
we
think she
ever
did.
heard the words I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. But I think she did apologize in her own way.
She
I mean,
seemed
she said I felt like an
remorseful
asshole.
when right. She seemed remorseful when she was hearing it from her side and how it, didn't just affect her and how it affected her children because, that's obviously something she can understand.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, she definitely was sorry if she didn't exactly say it.
Yeah. So Galyna, I guess in her
And
confessional,
listen,
says the only
she didn't
person,
pull out a gun or a bat.
there was no
So she
shovel
did
Right.
involved.
so she
Right,
did
Right.
well.
right.
That's how I looked at
Right.
it.
Right. Galyna says the only person now she has to make amends with is Masha. I
Yeah.
think Masha should go pound salt. I don't think Galyna owes
Mhm.
her everything. But
No.
whatever. I love now that we're at the Elms and the boys are decorating Cole's dirty ass truck. Like you couldn't run that thing through one of
Things
your
that
car
right,
washes for crying
right,
out loud.
right.
That
You
thing
gotta
was
have
so
right.
dirty.
So
And then
true.
Braden's writing engaged and Jake's behind him like, no, you spelled it wrong. And he's like, he had to like really think about it. And Jake's looking it up. He's like, oh, no, you're good. So then we see the entire family's there, including Stephen Sr., Casey's parents, everybody's there. And Cole's up at the gazebo / Zamboni.
Mhm.
And Allie sends Casey to get a table for dinner. But when she's going to turn to supposedly go to the restaurant, she's going to see Cole. So the girls get up by the rest of the family. Cole's nervous as hell. Casey comes walking down. He does start to cry. And he says all the right things,
Yes.
proposes, gets down on
Very
one
nice.
knee. And thankfully she says yes, because I do think he was a little nervous that she
He
wasn't going to
was. He
say
was
yes.
worried. He was.
Yeah, so she says she had no idea.
I
And
believe
Cole
that.
says now he has to let all the other women know he's off the market. I kind of believe she was surprised, though, don't you?
Yeah,
I
it
100%.
did. It did seem believable that she was
Yeah. I mean,
surprised.
they
It did.
are filming a show, so it's normal for a camera crew to be there. Like, whatever. Jesse says he saw Cole and Casey go through the high school relationship where they were fighting every day to being parents and growing closer. So that was nice. Then we see Allie is in the car with Masha, calls Galyna and says they're driving over to see her.
At the car wash.
Allie tells Masha it's a good time for her to take accountability for her actions.
She doesn't know what that word means.
She does not know
Does not know.
what that means. So they get there.
And it's
And
not
Galyna
due to a
says-
language barrier.
No.
Not between those two.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Galyna says, I trusted you and and took you into my life and my daughter's life, and you wrecked everything I was building. She said, I didn't lose a good man. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to know you. I don't want you to come here. I mean, Galyna. How did you think she was going to react to that? But
Right. But
Masha says,
did you like how production panned over to the bats on the floor?
no.
Oh
Did you
my
catch
gosh,
that?
yes, I saw that.
It's
I
great.
totally saw that.
Yeah,
Wait, what they pan
production
over to?
they panned
She had
okay,
2 bats.
yeah,
2
so
bats on the
Galyna
floor.
was at the
I saw the
computer.
bats. I saw the bats.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
great.
I thought you meant bats, like flying bats.
No.
But what
Baseball
about
bat.
when, Galyna, I didn't know this, said that, they were building a house together, Stephen and her, for her daughter, and they show
Is
us
that
in
the
this big
lodge that
house.
he's living in? Or no?
I don't
I think so, and I think that, there's probably a lot because I didn't watch the whole thing, but this is just my observation. There's probably a lot that Galyna had set in her mind that really wasn't there. You can fool yourself into a lot of things, and I think that she thought, well, he's built in this house. He's telling me he built an extra room so my daughter can stay and I can move in. And maybe he told her I'm going to leave my wife and we can have this thing. You know, who
He's
knows?
obviously
Yeah.
feeding these women lines and stories
Right,
and
right.
fantasies and,
Right. And all that.
gassing them up.
Right. Yeah. So who knows what he told her?
Yeah, I was just
Masha
surprised to
says,
see
I
that.
ruined your daughter's life because she couldn't live in a house. And
Ugh,
Allie's like, Masha, she just told you how she feels. Say you're sorry. Not
you're
happening.
never saying sorry. No. Because she's
No.
not.
She's not. Exactly.
'Cause she's
So
not.
poor Allie now has to get in the car with Masha, knowing that Masha handled that all wrong. Braden is stuck listening to Galyna, which I'm sure he agrees with Galyna that Masha's an asshole, but he looked very uncomfortable.
Yes, he did. He was like, oh, get me out. Get me out. Someone call me.
So now Jesse and Allie are going to dinner for their anniversary, and Jesse calls her
So
out
uncomfortable.
immediately. So uncomfortable. He calls her out immediately for being on her cell phone, and she's like, I'm just checking on my daughter. Now, I can't tell you, my husband tells me to put my phone down all the time, but I will say this. When I go to a restaurant, I might put my phone on the table in case one of my kids texts me or calls me. I don't look at my phone. I mean, we've been out to dinner a decent amount of time or out to eat, the three of us. I don't sit there on my phone.
Right.
No.
I don't think I do,
No.
right?
No, you don't. No.
No.
Because I tell
I
you.
can assure you that I do not ever look at my phone when I'm out to dinner with my husband. Because I know that's a huge pet peeve for him. And when we're out with our kids, I mean, Joe gives us the most problem, but we do not allow them, even at their ages now, like put your phone away. We're out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Well-
that's just how we've always been.
Right. But
But-
see,
But
the
she was
problem-
checking on the
She
daughter.
was
It wasn't
checking on her daughter who's only, 6 months or whatever at this point.
Right. And also the problem is that you got no business saying jack shit because you were out playing golf all day and showed up with a buzz to go out to eat with me
Exactly.
for our anniversary. And you didn't do shit with me before that because you were too busy with golf and boozing it up. So don't
Exactly.
be telling me nothing about being on my phone.
Exactly. For sure. I totally agree with you. Because like you said, then we find out that, he went golfing, he drank all day and has a buzz. And then he gets on his phone and she's like, oh, look who's on his phone now. So it wasn't great. It wasn't great. That's how the episode
wasn't
ended.
great.
I'm wishing for the best for these two. I hope they can get it together. I think they will, but they're going to really have to, do some.
I agree. I mean, even when Allie said, do you want to split something? And he's like, no. And she goes, well, it's kind of expensive. He's like, well, you've been working a lot.
I
I'm like-
know.
And then he ordered the Wagyu. You got to imagine that was the most expensive thing on the menu.
I would imagine it is.
Yes.
I would imagine it is. So that's it. We're over an hour, and I know nobody likes to listen to us talk that long, so we're going to end
Nobody
it.
does.
But we did recap 4 episodes in an hour, so that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Now we're all caught up with McBee. We got a lot going on. We still got to watch OC. Well, Wendy watched it. I didn't watch it yet, but we got a lot of shows going on. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Please like, share, comment. We love the engagement. And 5-star reviews if you wish. Bye.
Bye.
Lori says bye. You just can't hear her.